welcome back to WTFMCP, your go-to series for beginning Marvel Crisis Protocol. I'm your host, Jay Shalansky, and today we're going to dive into Asgard Affiliation. But before we do, just a couple housekeeping notes. Number one, moving forward, today's episode on, our Patreon members are deciding the affiliations that we cover and the order we cover them in. So starting today's episode, big shout out to Dan Fior from our Patreon for selecting Asgard for today. Also, if you want to get in on the conversation, we have an exclusive Discord. We talk about Legion, Shatterpoint, Unlimited. Go to patreon.com/the Fifth Trooper and join in. Secondly, I want to thank my buddy Nick Gardner, aka Keebler. He's been helping me gather information for these episodes. Though I have played MCP, I haven't played everything or played against everything. So I rely on him from time to time to give me information on these different affiliations and how to play. So he's part of our writing room over here at MCP. So thanks to Nick. Additionally, I got a lot of feedback from YouTube, and I've been kind of trying to pay attention to that. And one of the things that was discussed was, hey, new players, they're not going to own everything. How can they easily get into this through like an affiliation pack? So we're going to kind of cover that, the affiliation pack, what you can get, and how to get into these affiliations. I will say, as of today's recording, or released 2/6, that the Asgard stuff is very difficult to find right now. My assumption is that they're repackaging into an affiliation pack and redoing the art and the cards and all the languages and all that. So, we're going to talk about the character pack that they just released a few months ago that's available now. And I'll talk about the other packs, but they're going to be hard to find for beginners. That's as of today. So if you're listening to this in the future and they're all out there, we'll get round back to this. But for right now, you're going to just have to, try to find stuff at your local game stores or on the internet if you can. Okay, that being said, we're going to kick stuff off here with our leaderships. And I'm going to start with Prince of Asgard, Thor. This is one of those ones that is going to be a little hard to find. There's 2 packs you can find them in. There is an Asgardian affiliation pack. They are not selling it on the Asmodee store anymore, so you're going to have to look at your local store on the internet. And then also originally he came in a pack with Valkyrie. So look out for those if you want to find them. If you want to try to just kind of play with him right now, the card is available for print and play through the AMG website. So Thor, Prince of Asgard, his leadership is called Prince of Asgard. And at the start of each of your turns, one allied character may spend 1 power. If they do, remove 1 wound or 1 special condition from that character. Each allied character can use this once per round. So this is just a cool heal and condition removal. I don't think he's the best out of the leaders we're going to cover, but I do think he's really good. As a character overall, we covered this in Avengers affiliation video, that Thor, he's got throws, his God of Thunder area attack is highly underused, I think. All the Asgardians get an additional power during the power phase. So, you're flush with power. He can throw a lot. He can do a bunch of stuff. So, his strongest Avenger action, allows him to throw terrain and enemy characters size 4 or less. So that's kind of cool and strong. He does have a quote-unquote charge ability called For Asgard, so he can make a move action followed by his strike, and if it deals damage, the target character gains stagger, and he can use that once. So charge is a really, really good action economy superpower that a lot of the good characters have right now, and Thor's one of them. So I think great character, not their best leader, but decent if you have them. So next we're going to cover Mighty Thor. So this is the Jane Foster Thor. Her leadership, called Renegade Thor of Asgardia, is once per turn, when an allied character attacks an enemy character within 2 of itself, the allied character may re-roll one of its attack dice. Additionally, once per turn, when an enemy character targets an allied character with an attack, if they're not within two, the allied character can re-roll one of their defense dice. So you're going to see this in as well in Loki coming up, but re-rolls primo. I've found in this game that if you can modify dice, whether it's through rerolls or shifting a die to a specific face, it's super, super strong. She also has a charge ability, so she has 4 Midgard, so she can make a move followed by an attack. Now, hers just says attack. It doesn't say which one, so you could use Lightning Blast, you could use, but most of the time you're going to use Hammer Strike. Um, and then she can re-roll 2 of her dice. So with Thor and Mighty Thor, they've got this charge with like this bonus with it, and so I think those are really interesting and very strong. Um, She's got some other cool things. Her inner strength throw though is only terrain, not characters, which don't get me wrong is good, but whenever you have the option of throwing a character or a terrain piece, I always find that to be much stronger. And yeah, so we're gonna move on to Loki. So Loki, Prince of Lies, icon bearing gifts. When another allied character is attacking, defending, or dodging during their modified dice step, they could spend one a power, and if they do, they can re-roll one of their dice, and then Loki gains a power. So anytime, again, you can modify dice. Great. Loki allows you to do it whenever you're rolling dice. So you just spend a power and you can re-roll one of your dice. Now, this is re-rolling dice is again super powerful. That's why recalibration matrix is a staple of most lists. And I think Loki's probably their best leader. He's got both of his attacks are on the Mystic, which is great because there's not a lot of characters are strong on the Mystic side of their defense, so I think he's really good there. And he has oh my, what a pity. So after an attack targeting this character or an ally within 3, after the attack is resolved, you may use this superpower if the enemy character rolled contains any skulls. The character that the enemy character suffers wounds. So that's great. And then also when attacking, he's got just a consistent power. This isn't mischief, it's mayhem. When attacking or defending this character, as skull results in the enemy character's rolls to its total success. So anytime your enemy rolls skulls, you're counting them as successes. So that's cool. Yeah, so that's Loki, and that's the leaderships. So to the conversation around affiliation. Right now, the pack that's available through Asmodee's site, which is something that your local store can actively order, is the character pack. It has Mighty Thor, which we just covered, Lady Sif, Thor, Hero of Midgard, and Loki, Prince of Lies, which we just covered. So 2 of this pack are leaders. So if you were to purchase this pack, you do have the option of leaders, which is pretty cool. We're gonna move on now to Lady Sif, who comes in this pack. So Lady Sif, she's a 4 threat. She's a 4/3/3, so that's 4 defense on physical, 3 on energy, and 3 on mystic. She has a charge, so she can make an attack action after move action. It's for 2 powers, so it's a little less power than either of the Thors because she's not doing anything else. She's just charging and attacking. She has Warrior Born as her standard builder attack. So after the attack's resolved, she'll gain a power. There's your builder. She has on a wild, she can push for size 3 or less and push it away small. So that's good because you now have control over objectives. So on your wilds, you're able to push people off of objectives. So a play would be your opponent's enemy character is holding a secure objective and they already activated. You go with Sif and now you can push them off of it. Also, if you roll a crit and a wild, she has follow-up. After the attack's resolved, you can advance small towards the character. So you're already range 2. So you're just basically using this to get closer to an objective, or, within range of maybe another character if you want to follow up with a different attack. Her spender, or the power, the attack she has to spend power to use, is called Warrior Forge. It's range 3, 7 dice. So on a crit and a hit, she has Mighty Bash. After the attack's resolved, if the target character is size 3 or less, this character throws that character medium and then advances small. So now that's the one, right? You're range 3, you're going to throw them off of an objective or out of the way, and then you're going to move small towards the objective. So a lot of objective control with this character. She also has Power Master Swordsman. When this character is targeted by a physical attack or targets a character with a physical attack, it may use this superpower. If the enemy character is within 2, this character may reroll any of its attack or defense dice. So you have your attacks, you're moving in closer, and then you're able to do some rerolls after spending 2. But if you're using Loki, if you have 3 power to spend, and you want to reroll 3 dice between Loki and Master Swordsman, you're going to be able to reroll a bunch of dice, which is great. Then she also has Battle Tested. When she would suffer wounds and from an enemy effect, the amount of wounds is suffered by 1 to reduce them by 1 to a minimum of 1. So great, like midfield battler. So she's going to do damage. She's reducing damage. She's throwing and moving characters. So very, very good character at a 4 threat. Very, very good. The next one that comes in the box is Thor, Hero of Midgard. So we already talked about Prince of Asgard. Now here's Hero of Midgard, which, reminder, is Earth. This is 6 threat, very beefy character. 9 health on the healthy side. Very, very beefy character. So let's go through a little bit of what Thor, Hero of Midgard has. So Odin's Son's Ire. You gain, that's the builder, so 7 dice, range 3. On a wild, you get Lightning Arc. After his attack is resolved, choose a number of enemy characters within 3 of the target character equal to or less the number of wilds in the attack roll, and those characters suffer a wound. So you're getting an additional wound out of it. This is an energy attack, so it's the lightning cascading. And then on a wild hit, you get to push small. Great. This is another very, very good objective control piece. For Spender, it's 10 dice, range 3, physical. I would have Words with Thee. Before wounds are dealt, character places itself within 1 of the target characters. So from 3, you're going to move up 1, attack with 10 dice, and after the attack's resolved, you can throw the character, if they're less than 4 or less size, away medium. So you're coming in, bashing them, throwing them. Interesting thing is, with 10 dice, depending on who you're attacking, there's a solid chance you're going to daze or KO them. But if you don't, if it's like a Hulk and you want to get closer, you're going to be able to do that. So Power of Thor, for superpower, choose an interactive terrain feature of size 4 or less and throw it long. It's got to be within 2. This is another great throw, though only terrain, not other characters, which it limits a little bit for 3 power. It's nice to have, but it would be nicer if you could throw other characters as well. So next is I Say Nay villain. After the attack, targeting this character is resolved, it may use the superpower. If the attacker is within 3 of the character, roll 7 dice. The attacker suffers a wound for each crit and wild in the result. So, yeah, very good. I love these. Just these kind of like rebound attacks are super good. Again, Asgardian, so he's going to get additional power. So next, we're just going to go really quick through tactic cards. These all come within the box. So for a limited time only is the first one. You can add a die to its attack rolls. Additionally, after a character makes an attack, if wounds are dealt, the target character gains the shock. So this is for Thor, Hero of Midgard. He's going to spend 3 for this. It's okay. Uh, other allied characters get this Thor's blessing superpower. It's fine. Uh, Freya's Blessing. So this is a reactive during the power phase. Any allied character may spend 3 to play this card. They may reroll any number of its defense this round. Pretty good recalibration matrix, kind of, but just for you. A little power hungry for 3, but not bad. Rerolling is good. Giant's Blood. So this is reactive. When an enemy character ends a movement within 2 of Loki, he may spend 2 to play this card. Enemy characters within 2 of Loki gain the slow and root special conditions, and then Loki drops all objective tokens holding and is placed within 5 of his current location. I don't see you using this a lot. It's a fine card and it gets Loki out of trouble, but you never want to drop objective tokens to save a character. At the end of the activation phase, this is Heart of the Worthy. It's reactive. An allied, the Mighty Thor, may spend 2 to play this card. Mighty Thor removes her activated tokens, then she immediately activates. During the next cleanup phase, the Mighty Thor is KO'd. Good, but it's like a last-ditch effort kind of play because you're KOing a character, most likely giving your opponent priority. You're already low on characters if you're playing Asgard because they're also the threats are also high. So I don't know if you want to use this one. Next one, Trickster's Boon. During an allied non-Asgard character's activation, Loki, Prince of Lies, may spend 4 power. So this is interesting. The other Loki tactics card was for multiple Lokis because it used his name. This one is using the actual title, which is Loki, Prince of Lies. So just be aware of that if you're playing multiple Lokis. And this one, choose an allied non-Asgard character and an enemy character. The chosen allied character gains 5 power. This activation phase, if the chosen allied character dazes or KOs the chosen enemy character, gain 1 VP after the effect is resolved. If it did not, during the cleanup phase, the player controlling the chosen enemy character gains 1 VP. The chosen allied character loses all of its power, and Loki, Prince of Light, gains 1 power for each power loss this way. Wall of text. There's a lot going on here. This is a gamble card. I'm not sure you want to really use this, though you could get VP out of it, which is good, but you could also lose VP. So just something to keep in mind there. So next, and just kind of wrapping up, I'm going to cover the packs that you want to go get if you can. A lot of these are not very available out in the world, so if you can find them, try to get them. So you got the Asgardians Affiliation pack. This is going to have the Thor, Prince of Asgard. It's going to have Valkyrie, Hela, and the other Loki. If you can find it, I highly recommend picking it up. If you can't find that, then you can find Thor. You can find Thor and Valkyrie in a single pack. And then also, finally, this one you should be able to kind of find is Angela and Enchantress. Angela's got a long move on a base, so, she's very good. You also want to see if you can't get out there and find Beta and Oleg pack. Beta's very good, very hard to find, though. Like I said, if you could get these, they're all great. You don't really need any other splash characters outside of what's available for Asgard. So if you could pick up Asgard, highly recommend that you do. So overall, at the end here, Asgard's an attrition army. They have multiple characters that really allows you to do things all within affiliation, so you don't need to splash. If you have Angela and there's a center extract and you have priority, she's going to run and grab it and move away. I think mostly you're gonna take here Thor, hero of Midgard. You're gonna take Loki, Prince of Lies for your leader. Um, Beta is a solid character. Beta Ray Bill, if you can get a hold of him, he's got a very good tactics card, and I think overall Asgard is easy to pilot. Very easy. It's just you press W. So, and what I mean by that is just moving right towards the middle and attacking everything that you can. And researchers and Gamma are almost auto wins for Asgard. So, put researchers and Gamma in your list as far as crisis cards, and you should make it out okay. Well, I think that's it for Asgard this week. Thank you so much. Thanks to all our Patreon supporters, and we'll talk to you next week.